Welcome to the Twist News. I'm Erika Grey. Today I'm going to talk about the protests that are taking place in... Now, I'd like to say the name of the country, but it's going to get my channel dinged, and there will be unwanted attention to my channel from YouTube's algorithm, and possibly this reporting can get this channel demoted. It's already been demoted because I mentioned, and of course, the people. But I need to talk about this issue today because it's major. Because around the globe, the nation of is disliked, essentially. And you see this in policy coming from the world powers and at the UN, as well as YouTube's algorithm, which has demoted channels that talk about this nation. But right now, because Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government passed judicial reforms, it limits the power of the Supreme Court, which powers were far-reaching. And many within the nation are now protesting because they feel that this is a violation of democracy. But here's what's happening. Because so many nations are already prejudiced against the people in the land of, because of this, the nations now are kind of in a I told you so mode. So now they're, I told you so, look what's happening in Israel. And now, oops, wasn't supposed to say it. Oh no, I may have to bleep myself because I said, because of what's happening, this is hurting this nation, because now the nations and the peoples around the globe who are anti, they're now having an I told you so moment. So it's very tragic that this is actually happening, because this nation and these people already face so much anti-rhetoric and propaganda and sentiment that this is fueling their I told you so moment. It's fueling their believing that they're on the right side of opinion with their anti-opinion. So the tragedy, and I'm sorry, I have to keep showing the words because this video is going to get demoted and hardly get any views because my channel's been dinged because I use the term. What I want to say is the great tragedy here is that now there's people that needs to be united. And they need to be united because they have so many enemies. I don't know that there's any other people that have as many enemies as the people. And because of this, they need to be united and come to some kind of a resolution, some kind of an agreement. But these protests are really hurting big time, and it's hurting people. And so it is the opinion here that there needs to be real unity, and somehow who's ever really upset leading these protests needs to bite the bullet and sit down at the table and come to some kind of resolution, because this nation faces many enemies around the world. It's already prejudiced against its own sovereignty, where the nations want to tell it what to do. And its voice is being squashed by YouTube because you can't say, well, maybe you can say, but it may get attention to your channel. You definitely can't say. And so this people really needs to be united because of the enemies that surround them. But maybe some of them think that by giving in to the enemies or giving in to this negative opinion in some way, shape, or form, or some of the ideas, that they're going to create peace for themselves. No, that's not what's going to happen. They're not going to create peace for themselves by caving to the enemy. They're going to create peace by standing strong and by asserting themselves and by being unified and by punching up to their weight, its weight. That's right. The land of needs to punch up to its weight, because right now it is 8th in the world as far as its strength. It's got economic agreements with many nations, technological agreements, and the list goes on. And what it is contributing is significant, and it should not underestimate its own value or cave to any of the nonsense that's being pushed on it. But these protests are basically the land of shooting themselves in the foot and hurting themselves when more than ever, because of the negative opinion that surrounds them, they need to be united. Stay tuned for more from the Twist News. Subscribe if you don't, and check out the Amazon store, because the guests that come onto this show, their books are featured. Also, I feature the YouTube channels of the various guests who come on to this show if they have a YouTube channel. So, till next time, stay tuned for more.